Because I'm a chiropractor, what I'm particularly interested in is the nervous system. Because the nervous system controls all the other systems in the body. What are you doing? What are you doing? You're not sure? It's ready to... We very much believe that a dog or a horse or any animal has an inbuilt healing system, and that without obstruction we will be healthy. And so my job is to try to remove the obstructions. It's just the same for people, and dogs and horses appreciate it quite a lot. Horses will, because they're prey animals, they'll cover up any dysfunction, they'll cover up any lameness as much as they can by compensating. A dog's much more able to hop around on 3 legs, and they might show you a soreness sooner. It can be uncomfortable at the moment of the adjustment. If it's a good adjustment, that pain doesn't last, and in fact that's where you get the benefits. Often the dog will move much more freely immediately, so that the dog will normally walk out moving better than it was. It might feel a little bit sleepy, it might feel a little bit out of sorts, and if there's been soft tissue restriction, then there could be a little bit of aching the next day. But then the increases in movement then allow the system to work optimally, and we get proper biomechanical operation, which lets everything not hurt anymore. It's becoming more and more well known, the benefits of chiropractic, but still I had an email from somebody the other day who said that she wouldn't have believed the results if she hadn't seen it with her own eyes. And sometimes we just get used to the idea that something isn't right or it isn't as sprightly as it used to be, and we forget that that improvement is even possible. It needs some paw business. Some problems are really easy to spot because the dog will yelp, or it will run on 3 legs, or it will not be able to get up, or it will have had an accident. Other problems are a little bit more subtle, so when I'm starting to look at a dog, I'll hear the story of the dog, what signs and symptoms it's displaying that means the owner is worried about it or the vet is worried about it, and then I'll watch it move up and down to give me an overall picture of what's going on. Then by starting to run hands over the dog, I can get an idea of temperature, of muscle tone, this kind of thing. And then I start the proper chiropractic exam, which is really testing every joint in the dog's body to see whether they're moving correctly. Because what I'm looking for is a pattern of dysfunction of movement. And it's very often not where the dog is feeling most pain. And let's see about this. Let's see what this neck is doing. So it's not always picking up the pieces after a bad situation. And there are lots of ways to use chiropractic, whether it's in response to an acute trauma or whether it's ongoing management of a problem. We see it as a really nice way to get as close to optimum health as possible. People are surprised and often quite emotional when they see the changes that can happen. And that was my story. That's how I decided to become a chiropractor, because I took my dog to a chiropractor when he could hardly move and was all bunched up like this. And she adjusted him, and by the end of that treatment I'd found out how to train to do what I do now. It's really rewarding to work with a dog and see that something that you maybe thought was getting a bit old, like this one, or something that was just bad-tempered, in fact was covering up and compensating for something that was hurting it. And so it's really nice to see through treatment dogs just feeling better in themselves, moving better, doing their job better, whatever that job is, even if it's just being in a family, and therefore encountering proper illness much less often. I know, it's too much. Too much.